There's a lot of hype around these buds online, so I had to get my hands on one. First, to see if it's worth the hype, and second, to benchmark it against my range of Chinese TWS earbuds. Anyways, I snagged one up from AliExpress, used it for a week, and came to the conclusion that it's a good, maybe great bud, but yeah, I should chill with the hype. That's the short story. Let's dive deeper into what these earbuds bring to the table. You get the buds themselves, a fancy looking case with a wheel that I'm guessing has no actual function. It scrolls alright, but all through scrolling, it didn't trigger any action on the buds. There's 2 pairs of extra bud tips and an operating manual. The case design is refreshing, no lie, but I never got used to the non-functional scroll wheel. Put the fancy case aside, and this looks like your typical budget TWS earbud. So a somewhat chunky stock and a similarly chunky earpiece. I would say the earpiece are chunkier than the other buds I've reviewed recently. They definitely felt tighter in ear, but overall they are good looking by all budget TWS earbuds standard. There's a small round cutout that I assume is a part of the Norton design language on the side of the stock. The whole side of that stock works as a touch sensitive tab, and that cutout does add a bit of sophistication to the overall design of the buds. Build quality is very solid. It's plastic as usual. The stock is finished matte and the earpiece glossy. That has implications for the feet, but more on that soon. What you need to know is that this combo is pretty much bread and butter for TWS earbuds at this price point. You see it on the Halo Mori Pro, you see it on QCY's range of TWS earbuds. I have the white buds, but you can get this in orange or black. And for the short while I've used them, they are very prone to picking up stains. So if you're buying, I would advise you just get the black or the orange bud. Each bud weighs about 4.2 grams, which is again within the weight range of TWS earbuds at this price point. The slightly chunkier earpiece on this make them fit more snugly in ear compared to most of the other earbuds I've reviewed recently. However, when you use them for long periods, they tend to wobble about, and I'm guessing that's down to the glossy finish on the earpiece part of the earbud. Glossy means there's less friction and hold when in ear compared to the matte finish you find on the buds like the Halo Mori Pro. I also noticed a bit of ear fatigue when I had this on for prolonged periods. Anything beyond 2 hours and I consistently got some sort of earache. It's not that bad, and I'll suffix this by saying for most buds at this price point, you would get some ear fatigue if you have them on for long enough. The CMF Buds 2A come with active noise cancellation, Bluetooth 5.4, IP54 rating, touch controls, and multi-connection support. Again, this is bread and butter for TWS earbuds at this price point, with the notable exception being the IP54 rating, which offers both dust and water resistance of some sort. Most of the buds I've reviewed in this bucket lack the dust resistance, so that's a nice feature on the CMF Buds 2A. There's however no support for high-res LDAC audio, which you might find on some cheaper buds. There's also no proximity sensing and wireless charging, both of which are actually not commonplace for budget TWS earbuds. Active noise cancellation on the CMF Buds 2A was decent, all things considered. The advertised threshold is 42 dB, which is again kind of standard. Indoors, it worked very well at filtering background noise. So a TV hearing in the background, people talking, low-level music, appliances, all of that stuff. If the noise gets a bit loud, some of it passes through the ANC filter. I was in a room with a very noisy fan and I could hear some of the wind noise with the ANC on the Buds 2A on. Outdoors, it does a great job at blocking low-level noise, but once again, once it gets past that 42 dB threshold, you hear it. So it can't honking at you, not that you not want to hear that anyway, will get past. In a busy marketplace, you will hear some of the noise, but it still does a good job of filtering out most of it. There are 3 ANC modes on the Buds 2A: active, transparent, and off. Active turns on ANC in its full form for maximum noise cancellation. Transparent lets in some noise and is what you want to use on a walk, jog, or out in public. Off turns it off entirely. You can set your preference via the app or long press on the touch panel to turn it on or off. IP54 rating for water and dust resistance is perhaps one of the areas the Buds 2A stands out from the competition. IP54 means this is rated to resist water damage from light splashes of water, light rains, or sweat from intense workouts. The 5 in the rating means it's also resistant to dust. Most other buds in this price bracket don't ship with this, although it's there to be seen how much of a difference this makes to overall usability. Now, for what you've been waiting for, how does the Buds 2A perform sound-wise? Very good, I would say. The soundstage is detailed and immersive. There seems to be an emphasis on bass, more so if you use the Dirac EQ or activate the Ultra Bass function in the app. Overall, it evens out so that you can still get a good capture of mids and trebles. The bass is deep and vibrant. In rock, pop, and piano songs, you're going to get very thrilling depth of bass. Certainly not as controlled as what you get on the Melo Buds M50. Like I said earlier, it tends to blow out some segments of the other listening frequencies. So mids, while detailed enough, can come off muffled, especially at higher volumes. If you love synth-infused music like me, you might find yourself hunting for those interspersed guitar lines and synthesizer add-ons. Listening to my benchmark song Timeless by The Weeknd, I didn't get as much feel of the rolling drums, guitar, or synth infusions as I would do on other buds I had reviewed. It's not so much that it's not there as it is that it's not being projected with as much clarity as you find on buds like the QCY Melo Buds M50, in my opinion. Trebles are decent and very pronounced across all volume levels. You'll get a decent feel of vocals for both male and female voices. It's not as filling as the bads or mids experience. It certainly comes off with lesser clarity, is less separated from the soundstage, but it's still good enough. Tried as much as I could, but I couldn't really enjoy the surround sounds on the Buds 2A. It's there, I can feel the Buds trying to speak to me from different angles. It's just that it's not very well separated from the other components of the soundstage. So again, clarity is an issue. Overall, I would say these are the Buds to get if you're the type with bass cravings. Bass is deep, punchy, and thrilling. Other details in the soundstage come second to bass, in my opinion. I used the Buds 2A to take several calls over Christmas, a lot of them for long periods, as long as 2 hours in an instance, and I've got to say it performed exceptionally well. Really, I had no complaints. Audio quality in call was excellent, audio delivery to the counterparty was more than excellent as well. And impressively, on a 100% charge, I routinely got down by about 30% or so after taking 2 hour plus calls. That's impressive battery life numbers, but more on that later. Nothing says this comes with 6 mics, and even though I couldn't find up to 6, I'm going to go on a limb to say that's true because the call performance was very good. The Buds 2A come with a low latency mode function that drops latency to an almost zero level. This helps eliminate the lag or delay between sound and picture you might experience while gaming on traditional TWS earbuds. Media playback is great as well, and thanks to that low latency feature, there's effectively no delay between audio and video when watching video content, whatever the source. Battery life on the Buds 2A was superb. On a full charge, you can go up to 5 hours of active listening before needing a recharge. Passively, the buds will stay on and connected to your phone for more than 24 hours. Turning on ANC drops the hours by 1 and 2, so about 4 hours for active listening and say 22 hours for passive connection. The carry case houses a beefy 460 mAh battery that's capable of doing up to 5 0 to 100 recharge cycles for the buds. It's simple and clean, and I like that. And unlike the apps on brands like QCY, you don't need to sign up before logging in and connecting your buds. On the app, you can turn ANC on or off or set it to transparent mode. You can activate ultra bars or adjust the EQ settings. You can also modify the touch controls, connect it to another device with the dual connection tab, or turn on low lag mode for gaming. At the time of this review, the CMF Buds 2A cost about $46 to get, and while it does feel like a great bargain when you consider the sound quality, design, battery life, and call quality, it's hard to ignore the fact that better buds can be had for less. The QCY Melo Buds Pro, for instance, is about $14 cheaper, and that comes with support for high-res audio and has a more balanced sound stage, in my opinion. If you love very thick bars, then maybe this is the earbud for you. Otherwise, I'd say just save the extra bucks and get other cheaper, similarly performant, maybe even better Chinese earbuds.